Hello guys, Life Hackster here, and a quick video today, and I'll show you a very simple way to power up your dash cam so that you will get to use its parking mode. You know that plugging it into any power ports or USB ports in your car will normally turn the dash cam off, usually at the time you turn off your car or a few minutes later. I know there are some cars that have a designated power port that have constant power, but most do not. Most, if not all, dash cams have parking modes, which you can set it up to record when motion is detected near your car or when it gets bumped or get hit. And some also have time-lapse mode or low bitrate recording, so it continuously records even when the car is off and parked. The way for you to be able to use this feature though is to hardwire your dash cam, which dash cam companies usually sell a hardwire kit, which looks pretty simple. You just need to connect 3 wires: constant power, ground, and accessory or power only when the car is on wire. But in reality though, it can be challenging trying to splice, or in the case with fuse taps, trying to find which fuse to use. And there is an easier way. I bought this Vantrue hardwire kit, but this is the OBD port version. So instead of trying to find which fuse or which color wire you need to splice, just plug this into your OBD2 port. If your vehicle is 1996 model and up, you'll have an OBD2 port, normally under your dash area. This is 10 feet in length. This little controller here has a mounting tape on the back. And this has a toggle switch where you can choose which voltage you want to set so as to cut off power to your dash cam so that it will not totally drain your car's battery, 11.6, 12 volts, or 12.4. I'll set this in the middle and will cut off power if my battery goes lower than 12 volts. This is USB-C, and Vantrue states this will work with their dash cams that have USB Type-C port. And I'll be testing this with their E1 Pro and their E360. And because it is USB-C, so technically it can power up any USB Type-C dash cams. But I'm not guaranteeing that though, because I did test this with my VFO A119 Mini 2, which I got mixed results, and I'm not sure if it is the cable or the dash cam itself, and I'll tell you here in a bit. And VFO, as far as I know, is not selling yet an OBD type power supply for their dash cams, but I have a feeling that they will, and other dash cam companies will be offering this accessory soon. There are also a lot of white label companies that are selling this type of power supply at Amazon, but my suggestion is to stick with your dash cam's brand. To install, run the cable to your headliner, to the front of your A-pillar to avoid the airbags, and route it to the side of your dashboard, and to my door's weather stripping. And I'll just stick this controller right here so that I can easily glance at the screen, because this screen will show the voltage of your battery. And then just plug this into your OBD2 port, and it shows my battery is currently 12.4 volts. Now I just need to turn on parking mode in my dashcam settings. With the Vantrue E360, you have collision detection or motion detection, low bitrate or low frame rate recording options. And with the E1 Pro, you will get a little warning that it is better to use the collision detection mode instead of motion detection if you are parked in the hot sun. I guess you will get a lot of false motion recordings if you use motion detection. And you can also set the sensitivity. I tested this OBD cable on both of these Vantrue dash cams and it works. When you turn off your car, it goes to parking mode in about 5 minutes. And with just collision detection on, I didn't use my truck for 2 whole days and the camera was still in parking mode. And I still have 12 volts on the screen. How long it will power the dash cam in parking mode will really depend on the age and health of your car's battery. The only thing about collision detection with the Vantrue anyways is that it will only start recording a second or two after the bump or hit. If you set it to motion detection, you will get a lot of recordings, but it is buffered and will start recording about 15 seconds before motion is detected. Having this option though will definitely use up the battery and trigger the controller to shut off power to the dashcam quicker than using the collision detection option. But I've tested this overnight and the parking mode still working the next day. This will be a good option for your daily driver. Now I tried powering up my VFO A119 Mini 2 with this, and I turned on the parking mode, but I didn't get consistent results. Also, by the way, the footages and the events and the parking mode will be in a separate parking folder on both the Vantrue and the VFO. But when I checked the recordings on the VFO, out of the few footages that I tested, both motion and collision mode, I only got one shot of me, like one frame on the end of one footage. So I'm not sure what's up with that. It might be this Vantrue cable is not compatible with it. I'll test this further though when Viofo releases their OBD version of their power cable. Alright, just to show you when I tested the motion detection in parking mode with the Vantrue E1 Pro for about 3 hours when we recently watched a movie. And as you can see, there were a lot of recordings in a moderately busy parking lot. And the recordings are 45 seconds long, and because it records about 15 seconds before motion is detected, you'll get the whole motion event. Anyways, if you want a hassle-free hardwiring of your Vantrue Dash cameras, then this OBD hardware kit is a pretty good option so that you can use its parking mode features without messing your car's wiring. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.